All right, welcome to the Quarantine Check-In. My guest today is really funny comedian from Detroit, Travis Tehlirian.
What's up?
Travis, what's going on? How are you surviving quarantine?
Just trying to come up with random new hobbies, like was painting, doing the at-home painting with a twist type of stuff. And then my girl just bought a whole bunch of recording equipment, so she does music. I'm trying to get into learn all the studio producing type of stuff, and then also producing like my show. So just trying to come up with hobbies, and this I didn't expect any of this lasting this long. So you got to do that, or you're just gonna go crazy.
Oh, believe me, I know. That's why I started doing this, just to be able to do the hang with my comedy friends and
Yeah.
not go crazy and watch TV and read and work all day.
Yeah, a couple of times, just me and some of my homeboys, we just set up a Zoom on a Friday, and then we're just chilling on Zoom, like we're doing our own thing here, they're doing their own thing there, playing flip cup on Zoom and shit like that. So it's like you can't really get together with everybody, so it's just that's just a chill thing on through Zoom.
Last week, I got a message from one of my friends that he wanted to play Yahtzee with a bunch of us online, and I've known this guy forever, and I don't recall us ever being drunk enough or high enough to play the game of Yahtzee.
Yeah, no, I don't even know how to play. I just know you get six dice, and then just if you get sixes, that's Yahtzee maybe.
I think you know more about it than I do because I don't think I've ever played it.
I never played it either. I seen it. It's a cup and a bunch of dice, and then something happens. I don't know if there's a board or what. But
it just seems like the dumbest game ever next to Twister.
Yeah, but I mean, Twister is just a way to bone somebody. Unless if you're playing with an all group of friends, then that's just I don't know. But if it's just the dude and the girl, then it's all right. Okay.
Yeah, but if you're playing Twister with just a girl or a girl and a guy, it's like the worst foreplay ever.
Yeah, but I never really actually did that, but it's just in the movies. It's just all right, we're gonna whip out Twister, and then here it goes to wherever it goes. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of weird actually thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just a dumb game. Yeah. So what else? So what else have you been doing to keep busy? Are you still working right now, or?
Yeah, I got furloughed though, so it's I got 2 days off through April, so it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday. I've been just using my sick days on them, so it's just it's just basically it's the same thing, but I just hope it doesn't go into May.
I think, as I've said this on every episode, I think it's going to go to the middle of May.
Well, some of the automotive companies are saying they're about to start back up, but I don't know how true that is with what is it, the flattening the curve and all that mess.
I think. I just read. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. Like half of my friends now are on Facebook and social media.
Mm-hmm.
Their associate's degree now makes them proficient at the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I think the curve will be flattened by the end of the month, hopefully.
I don't. With it getting warm, I think the first day I seen it warm, it was sometime last week. It was just a bunch of people outside. People, when it gets hot, people are gonna be outside. There was the ice cream shop out there in Royal Oak, and people were not doing the 6 feet thing. They were just all gathered down there. I think with the heat, people are just gonna say fuck it and just go outside anyways.
Well, it's interesting. In Sweden right now, they're doing the herd immunity to see if that works. So everything is still open.
The what immunity? Or the
herd immunity. That's keeping people still kind of practicing social distancing, but still restaurants are open, schools are open.
Is that battle? A survival of the fittest?
Basically, yeah.
What the fuck? Herd immunity? That's what they're calling it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up, but you know what?
Are you following? Go ahead.
Sweden gave us ABBA and Peter Bjorn, so they might know what they're doing. They're really good at pop music, so they might be really good at figuring out a different way to go about this.
I don't know if giving us ABBA correlates to they're doing the coronavirus right.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Are you attaching to any of the conspiracies, or are you giving any of those any time of day?
Not really. I watch some just to laugh at them,
5G.
I'm sorry?
The 5G stuff?
Oh no, that's bullcrap. People said the same stuff about 4G.
Yeah, but 5G is like 4G times two, so it's like 4G 2.0.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think a monkey fucked a bat or a pig fucked a bat or something like that, and we got this.
Hmm.
And
It was definitely all them terrorists and stuff going on. You don't think they were just like, fuck y'all?
no, because no, I don't. I don't because no, I think we're trying to find a rationale to say there's a bad guy to this when the bad guy is actually nature,
So God's the bad guy?
not God, nature. I mean, think about it. Every 100 years, something bad happens. Like 100 years ago, we had the Spanish flu in 1908. 102 years ago,
Mm.
there's a precedence to this that every so often there's a really bad pandemic that gets out of control and people die, which sucks.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, just historically, people are fucked up. So I just don't. I'm not attaching it all the way specifically to something. I'm just saying people are capable of doing this, and I
but
don't put it past humans to do fucked up shit.
but if that's the case, humans are also boastful, which means someone would be out to take credit for this right about now.
If it's like ISIS or something like that, but if it's like the whites
Ah,
or yeah, if it's some sneaky shit, then it's like, all right, like or like when Russia's hacking. If it's like something like that, they don't necessarily want to claim it. It's just like they're just doing a thing. But I mean, I'm not saying that's what I'm believing. I'm just saying I don't put it past people because people are kind of fucked up. Some
yeah,
people,
I mean they are, but I don't think people would be. You got to think of where it started.
allegedly, is that
You know, allegedly, yeah. I mean, at some point right now, the disease investigators are working overtime to figure out how this started and why.
mm,
So, but I don't know. I think it sucks having to stay at home, but if it means more people are going to live, I'm all for it.
yeah, and I bet after as soon as it's over, people are gonna be like, "Damn, I wish I had a little more time on the quarantine." Like that shit was
No, I think people are going to be so ready to go back to work. Like,
at first, but I say like after a little while, they're like, "Fuck this fucking sucked." Like, because I mean, people that were working also were like, we need a break, I need a vacation." But this is a huge vacation. If you're not dying, then it's like you just be at home.
I mean, I hate working from home. I'd rather be at the office.
Me too. I mean, yeah, I do. It does get annoying now, but I just think when we go back, it's just like when it's like cold outside, they're like it's too fucking cold, and then when it's hot, it's like it's too fucking hot. So I think when we go back, there's gonna be people like, I wish we could quarantine again.
Well, I think at first, and this will be the last time I say it on here. I think at first we're going to go back and shift. Like my department will work Monday, Wednesday, another department will work Tuesday, Thursday, and then these people come in on Friday
Because of the quarantine. Like,
because of social distancing is still going to be practiced.
oh, so you're saying it's gonna little by little?
Yeah,
Sure. Okay, okay.
because
Yeah,
I don't know about you. In my office, desks are pretty close, so
mine are decently close, but it's enough to social. I mean, we got a lot of office space, so it's just we just do it that way. But we definitely can 6 feet like apart from each other. It's bigger than there are people. Like we don't have that many people there, but we can definitely do it if we wanted to.
so let's change the subject to something more happy. Let's talk about comedy. How long have you been? How long have you been performing?
My first time was what's today's date? I
Today's
think it was
April 11th.
oh, it was the I think it was the 16th of April last year. So I'm not gonna be able to do any comedy on my comedy anniversary. But like I started with the comedy class. I took Bill's like the year before that, like in yeah, like in 2018, and then I just dropped out of it because just like nerds, I took like 2 classes and then just dropped out of it. And then like that whole year, I just wrote, and then like I practiced in my car how I thought it would sound, like and how I think they would react. Like I kind of was like going crazy with it, and, like recorded like all the time during my lunch break. And then I took Bill's class again in March last year, and then I actually did it with like all the stuff I was practicing the year before, and then it wasn't that bad because I like was writing for a whole year basically. And then yeah, in April 16th, I went up and my first show I think went pretty good.
At the where?
At Mark Ridley's,
Okay.
the 100 with Bill. I know
Okay.
a lot of people say the classes are frowned upon.
I don't think so. I think the classes are really good.
I think so too. I know it's just like a lot of people are like, well, whatever didn't take the classes. Eddie Murphy, like they list all the people who didn't take the classes. I just don't see how it could harm you. I think it's like a supplement. I don't see like how it could hurt. Like I'm not just gonna listen to this guy say exactly this and then do that. I think if you go to the mics too, but there's no way I would be at 12 o'clock noon every single Saturday doing comedy stuff. Like, and then the networking, like you're gonna meet with these people in a sober environment. Like it's like a class. Like it's easier to network, meet friends and stuff like that versus going drunkenly at open mic on a Tuesday, like in a loud environment. So I don't know. I think it's not gonna hurt you.
Well, let me ask you. We were in the advanced class together.
Yeah.
Who from our class is still doing comedy? I know you are. I am. Pistachio is. Bill Morrison.
Was Shelby in that class?
Well, she was, but she wasn't. She wasn't in our. She didn't do our show, and she was maybe in half. Showed up to half the classes.
I mean, well, I took Joel's like 3 times, so I'm not even 100% sure everybody that was in that class.
I think it was you, me, Roz, Paul French, Pistachio, Nancy. That and the guy I want to say his name was Tony.
Oh yeah, Tony. Yeah, I don't think he does. Yeah, the couple of them. Tony don't do it anymore. I don't think Raj. I don't think does it. Nancy, I think she stopped, and then I thought she was gonna start back, but I don't think she's doing it right now.
I think
well, right now nobody is, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. I'm still doing I'm doing virtual mics.
Yeah. Well, I just meant like actually. I mean, like not. I don't want to say actually because that's like. But yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah. But yeah, I think she stopped anyways. I know she did a podcast, like a couple episodes on a podcast, but I don't think she's doing one right now. But
I think I just saw on Instagram or Facebook that she's expecting a new baby.
Oh well, yeah. Then that's a comedy killer, probably.
I don't know. Do you know Megan Coddington Heath from Saginaw?
No.
She was pregnant like 2 years ago, and then like about a week after she had her baby, she was back doing shows.
I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy.
I should get her as a guest, but
you should what?
I should get her as a guest. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah, and hopefully she didn't watch my reaction to that. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a fantastic mother.
With our viewership, there's probably a good chance that she has not.
Okay, no, I'm sure she's seen it.
Maybe. I mean, it's weird. Like, I was looking at the views before we went on. It's like some episodes get in the 50s, some barely break 10. So, but I'm sure you're finding that with your show as well.
Well, I mean, I'm getting like 150, I think. But I started off like at 0 obviously, but yeah, I think now it's pretty consistent for me. But I'm kind of advertise a lot. Like I advertise on Instagram, on Facebook, and then there's like YouTube pages on Facebook that I was advertising on, but it doesn't really help because everybody's like sub for a sub, which doesn't help you with views at all. So there's a bunch of pages on like to grow YouTube channels on Facebook, and I added all of them and like was just dropping like clips on there. But then every time you drop a clip, somebody else just drops another clip like sub me and I'll sub you, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I don't want to do that. But like the Michigan comedy pages, the ones that like except for MCN, the ones that you can post on, those I think are good for getting views from. And then like Instagram, my Facebook story, stuff like that.
Yeah, they are. And I think it all depends who your guest is too. Your show you have the same panel pretty much every.
Yeah. We don't have any guests. Well, I mean, we make it seem like they're guests because we introduce every time, but it's like it's the same. It's all of us.
So how did you come up with that idea?
Well, I mean, so this was before the quarantine. It was like in August, and then like me and the Mexican looking dude. Well, he's half Mexican. Me and him were just talking on our group chat, and we were saying this for a little while that we wanted to start like some kind of podcast. But like he was living in Chicago, I was here, and then like a couple of other there was like 3 or 4 other dudes that were kind of talking about it, and everybody was kind of spaced out. So we were just trying to figure out how can we do a show with all of us being in different locations, and then like I just was thinking of like doing a conference kind of thing. But then after that, we were like, even with the conference, what kind of show could we do? And then I was just thinking how the kind of like the Around the Horn, the sports show.
No.
It's one dude in a studio, and then like there's like 3 or 4 other dudes, and then he kind of like they talk sports, and then like he gives them points about like what they're saying on random sports topics, like Kobe blah 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 did whatever, and they're just talking or arguing it, and then like he just gives them points and shit like that. But that was on Sports Center, so I basically like kind of stole that idea, and then just like for the most part, when I see like debates, political or anything like that, it seems, or like sports or anything, it seems like they're purposely picking one side, like they're purposely picking two sides, even if they don't necessarily think that, because just to get both points across. So like with ours, we're just like, all right, we're just gonna for sure intentionally do both sides. Like right before the show, we decide who's gonna argue which side, not necessarily with what we actually like believe, but and then it's just like crazy topics that we're talking
I like the name Blasphemous Debate.
about. I don't know. It was just supposed like a couple plays on words, and it's like the blasphemous thing, and then like what's it? Well, mass and debate together sounds kind of like masturbate. Like we didn't want to say that, but it's just like there were like 3 or 4 little things where it's like just like random like in there that like it's just kind of like hopefully it's just like kind of like you hear it a little bit, and it's like, oh, well, that's not a funny sounding name.
That's cool. I watched one and I liked it, so I will. Once this quarantine continues, I'll probably watch more.
Which one did you see?
I think it was probably 2 weeks ago.
Childbirth. Does childbirth hurt as much as women say it does?
I'd have to go back and look through my view history on YouTube.
All right.
Or on Facebook. I don't remember, man. I developed a new hobby. I take edibles every night.
Okay, so that makes sense then.
Yeah. So, what was your last show before all of this went crazy?
It was in this. I mean, I kind of took a hiatus anyways for the YouTube thing, so I stopped in December. I had my advanced comedy class in like December or something, and then I think I did like one more open mic at New Way, and then I didn't do anything this whole year because from August to February, when we put the first video on, we were just working on that a lot, and then at that time specifically, we were trying to like get the first video out. So from like January, like I think we wanted to put it out January 12th was the day we had. We didn't end up putting it out until the middle of February. So that time is like learning how to edit and stuff like that, because I'm the one editing. So learning how to do that took a long time. So the time I would go to a mic, I'd just go to the coffee shop and edit and like work on just writing stuff up or getting the logo ready and all that stuff. But
do you think you'll go back to performing stand-up once this is lifted?
Yeah, I did plan on doing that. It's just the initial like getting this ready took a lot of time. So like now I do want to go back to doing stand-up.
I think the last time I saw you was at that new mic in Walled Lake, Michigan, at that sports bar.
Oh yeah. What's it called? Okay.
Alexander's or Ambrosia's or something like that.
Ambrosia's the girl, but I was trying to think of was that the person's name right now? What's the name of the place?
I think it was Alexander's.
I thought it was like no, I'm thinking of Sneakers. Because it's near Tiki Bar, right? It's like really
Yeah. It's like about a half mile away from Tiki Bar.
Across from like that McDonald's and stuff. I just can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
I like that place though. It was the show we were on. It seemed like everybody did pretty decently.
No, not really. There were some people who did comedy for the first time, like the guy at the bar who the girl who ran it brought up and did one of the worst sets I have ever heard.
What was he talking about?
Nothing. He had barely had any jokes, and it was like this would be stuff that you would tell your bartender trying to be funny or pick them up, and this is just him doing that in front of an audience.
Shit, I don't remember that. I know the dude that we were sitting with was really good.
Justin O'Leary.
Justin O'Leary, yeah, he was funny as fuck.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I met him, but he was good. And there was like another dude at our table, the taller dude. He was funny too. I don't remember his name.
Kevin?
Maybe he was tall. He was really tall.
Yeah, he's part of the Prinkus and comfort zone scene.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah.
What was your biggest bomb ever?
Probably like the first time after my first show at Mark Ridley's, then I went to Prankus right after that, and it's just like I didn't realize it was gonna be like that. I thought it was gonna be like how the showcase 100 showcases was, but it wasn't like that. And like it's a heckle one and stuff like that, and it's just I trying to do the same jokes. You're not gonna get the same feedback because like you're not as good as telling jokes, but the audience at the stand up class, they know that you're in a stand up class, so they're gonna be more receptive to it. But
Yeah, I think there's a really good. I think Prankus serves a really good purpose because it helps you with crowd work.
yeah,
And I know I need to be better at crowd work, so I should probably go to Prankus more often.
yeah. Well, for me for crowd work, I'm pretty sure there's the dude Tom E. Thompson. I never met him, but he made a post on the MCN talking about just doing the same set, and I think that's how I got comfortable. Not I'm not gonna say good, but comfortable with doing crowd work because I just for 30 sets in a row, like even if it was the same people there, I would just do the exact same set, and then knowing I had these 5 jokes, it'd be easier to like riff or do whatever like that.
I agree with that too, but there are some points you need to do crowd work. Like I did this bar up in I want to say Macomb, Michigan, Polsky's. Have you ever done Polsky's?
Oh yeah. I like Polski's.
Oh yeah,
The Polish place.
yeah.
I did crowd work there too.
Well, I didn't do crowd work. I had another comedian brought a friend, and that friend decided to heckle me,
Mm.
and I wasn't prepared for it, and I kind of lost it, and I need to get better at crowd work because someone like Mylan Stroman, who is a
Yeah,
freaking awesome at it, I left, but from what I heard, he just destroyed that guy.
yeah. That one was on video. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Wasn't that
No,
on
it
video?
was, and the video thankfully was taken down because I think the person who did it's a really funny comic, and I have booked him since then. But you don't take someone else's set.
Yeah, I don't get why he would have done that. Like that. I mean, I think that's different than crowd work though. Like regular to me, like regular crowd work is just like riffing off of stuff. Like when I went to Polski's, I was just like telling them like I'm Polish. I seen a Punchki on the wall and I made a joke off the Punchki. Like when you have to, if somebody's making fun of you, you have to shut them down. I feel like that's another level of crowd work.
Yes,
Shutting
yes,
somebody
you're,
down.
you're, you're right because I did do starters once, and a woman let out a loud fart, and I based my whole set on that fart.
Exactly, and even at the one at Wall Lake, we were both at. I seen your set before. The one you did that time was like you were kind of going off of like the crowd.
I
So it's
was.
like you did it was a few things that were just like you commented on something that happened and that got laughs. But like that's crowd work. But I'm more comfortable doing that kind of crowd work, not the kind where it's like you got to shut somebody down because then it's like if they're good at it, then it's like if people laugh at their thing, then it's like what the fuck am I going to do?
Well, it's interesting. Marcus Olin, I'm a big fan of his work, and he makes his whole set seem like it's crowd work.
Yeah.
He's having just one big conversation with everybody, and it's so seamless. And last summer, I did a bunch of shows with him in a row, and it was kind of interesting to see him just do the same set basically every night, and it just seemed like, man, you know someone is really good when it seems not rehearsed at all, and it just
Yeah.
seems absolutely seamless. Like,
Yeah, like a lot, like when he's going into a new one, it just seems like it's just like he's just throwing something out there. But it's like if you've seen it before, like you know the joke if you when you start saying it. But it's just like kind of how he throws it out there. It doesn't seem like it seems like I'm just this is something else that's but not like a necessarily like I'm telling you a joke too. So that
right.
I mean that's not easy for me to do, but it was easier when I started doing the same exact joke like same set like every night for like a long time.
No, definitely. So let's ask some probing questions to get to know you a little bit better. All right. What's your favorite Britney Spears song?
Oops, I did it again. Hands up.
Okay. If you were trapped on a desert island with Harrison Ford, Pam Anderson, Donald Trump, and the guy who plays Loki in the Marvel movies, who would you kill first for food?
Is Harrison Ford fat? I can't even picture him.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Donald Trump probably, just because he's the biggest. In my mind, I know Loki's not big. Pam Anderson, silicone you can't really eat. And I can't even picture Harrison Ford, so I'm going to say Trump, not because political stuff, but because size-wise, and that's, I don't know, you can eat the most food off that.
Okay, all right. If you were walking down in downtown Detroit and a spontaneous flash mob came up doing the cha-cha slide, would you join in?
Definitely.
Okay. I did that once. They were doing it, and I do not know the dance. So.
That's you got to know the cha-cha slide as a black one. No, but if they came up doing some other stuff, I'd probably look at them crazy. But if they came up doing the cha-cha slide, then it's like
they're explaining the dance in the song.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to follow directions as best as I can. And
they don't
right.
What about the Macarena? They don't explain that for real, but it's simple. You just repeat the same.
Yeah, I don't know that one either. I don't know. Like back when I was probably about 21 years old, there used to be a bar called Mr. Sports in Farmington Hills on 13 or Orchard Lake in 14. Mm-hmm. And one night we went there, and all of a sudden the Hustle came on, not the disco version, but the other version. The entire place went on the dance floor and started doing it. I'm sitting there going, how the fuck does everyone know this dance? Did I miss one day of life?
Wait, not the one that goes do the hustle.
There's another one.
I know there's a bunch of hustles, but I don't know about the hustle. Like a black one?
I don't remember. All I remember is everybody, and most of these people were people I went to high school with, were all out on the dance floor. I'm like, I am not normal, because if I was, I would know this song and how to dance.
Yeah. There's a bunch of like ballroom stuff where like one song comes on, and I guess it's a ballroom song, and everybody just starts doing this foot thing, and I just look at them like, I don't know what you guys are doing at all. Then I just back up and get out of there.
Yeah,
the simple ones I can do, but some of the ones where it's like 5, 6, 7 steps that if the guy's not explaining it to you in the song, then it's like, no, I can't do that. And even the cha-cha slide, there's like when he says Charlie Brown, when he says like a couple things where it's like not a move this way, then I'm still like, all right, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, I might have to look at a video in case we go back to normal in summer and a flash mob breaks out once again and everyone's doing it.
It could happen.
They'll be like, that white boy knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
So what made you want to do comedy?
Probably just growing up. Like I know I seen somebody interviewed George Carlin a while ago, and they're like he interviewed a bunch of other comedians, and he was like, I noticed something in interviewing comedians, and like the top 3 things for comedians is like they're either part of a minority or poor or like didn't get enough like love as a child. And then George Carlin, he rebutted that last one and said like basically didn't get attention. And like I think like for me, all 3 of those things really, like, because I'm black, I was poor as fuck, and then like I was the middle child, so it was a bunch of kids. So then like I'd be at school, like all through school, I was just like bad as fuck, or like just like making fun of the teachers and shit like that, and like I would get reactions from the kids in class, so like everybody would be laughing, but like I get suspended and shit, and then like in high school I would always get in trouble, like because I would like clown the teachers like really really bad, and like get a lot of reactions out of my classmates. So it's just, I don't know, I think probably growing up, and then when you see reactions from them, it's like, all right, this is kind of dope. So then keep on doing that, and then it's like you got the itch. Like I'm an engineer now, but it's like you still have the itch of doing this, and I just started writing while at work, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it.
Cool. So I know the highlight of your comedy career was hosting the very first Laughs in the Lairs at Ring Comics. What was your second comedy career highlight?
Man, that shit did not go that good. I was nervous, and like I hosted since then and did better, but I feel like that one I did bad. Like it's just I planned my set and I think my set went decently, but like the in between part where you got to be like, here comes this next person, like I didn't plan for that at all, and it's like I feel like I got kind of in my head about that. I'm like coming to the stage, blah blah, or make some noise for blah blah, and it's a little thing, but I feel like I was in my head for that. But then like after that, I was cool with it. Like I hosted a couple more times and I was good with that. But I think the second best time after that, after the Laughs and Hilarious would have to be Sal D'Amelio. You know Sal.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he seen me at the in Wall Lake at Tom Swan's room, and then he gave me he put me on his show in Portofino's.
Great room.
And yeah, that's probably the biggest room I've had. It was packed out, and like I did like 5-6 minutes, I think, and I did good. And I think other than Ridley's, like with the actual crowd, that's probably the biggest one, and that wasn't one I paid for, so that would definitely.
Did you host that night?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah, I hosted there right before all of this went down.
Wait, the first time you got on there, you hosted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to host for Bill Hildebrandt, and I thought that was awesome.
But you like that room though, right?
I love that room.
That room, like, because it was like a charity for like a school, like some teachers and shit were there, but like everybody's paying attention, everybody wants to laugh. It's like nothing like the open mics I'm at, and it was nothing like Ridley's either, like of the comedy classes. But I liked it a lot.
I think my highlight this year so far was Billy Hoffman ran a charity, and I want to say there's about 300 people there. And I wish I taped that set because I friggin' destroyed.
You didn't like audio or videotape it?
No, I thought, I think Bill Morrison taped it for me.
And he's just hoarding it.
Because I forgot about it because pretty much the world went to shit a few weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know he taped it, so I should see
Bill, if you're watching this, give him the fucking tape.
Well, I'll ask him for it. Because it was, I destroyed that room. And it was also interesting because after the show, I was walking around, this guy comes up and turns out we went to college together. We were in a fraternity. And
wait, turns out? Did you recognize him?
No.
Even after he said it?
Yeah, we were friends on Facebook, but I don't remember him at all.
Was he like way younger than you?
Probably about a year.
But so you guys were in the house at the same time, or in the?
Yep.
That's the worst. That's the worst when somebody comes up to you and like they're like, they know you, and then you're just like, oh, from like you have zero idea who they are, because you can't fake remembering somebody.
But he was explaining things that I remember doing. I just don't remember him being there.
Yeah. But that's just an awkward situation. Like when somebody super remembers you and then you're just like, no. It's like they want you to remember them back, but it's just like they're not that memorable.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. And you know what? I think it's because I did a lot of drugs and drank a lot of beer back then. Like I have selective amnesia of a lot of awesome things that I probably did.
Like what kind of drugs? Or can you not say that?
I'm not going to say because I'm a professional now and years have passed and I'm pretty sure all the drugs that I did back then, people, forced me to take.
Forced you? By peer pressure? Oh, yeah.
You want to be cool, Robert? Yes.
With a gunpoint, so then that's really your job. Can't get mad. They
kidnapped my pet. They're like, hey, you got to take it. All right.
take $45 worth of shrooms right now, or your pet dies.
Yeah. I went to Ferris State, and it was harsh back then. It was harsh.
That's like mid Michigan. Where's Ferris State?
An hour north of Grand Rapids. My goal is to do a comedy show up there.
The return.
No, of course, no one there knows me anymore. I'm just a faded picture on the fraternity house wall. Yeah. So, let's see. What's your favorite movie?
Friday. You seen Friday?
Everyone's seen Friday.
That's my favorite. I know like all the words like for real like a huge amount of words like from the beginning when it first starts like I know crazy like most of the shit.
I think that's a near perfect film.
But like Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's only rated like it's not rated that good. It's like next Friday, like it gets the audience rates it like a 90 something, but the reviewer people rate it like an 80 something, and then the next one I think is like it's way lower. Like I just hate the reviewer people in general, like people who are like try to objectively review.
Well, the critics, they just want classy movies.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like I don't like in general like with like the people who review paintings. Like you're just like the one who says this is good, or you're like when Chappelle's special came out, it was like a 90 something audience review, but then like the critics review was like a 20 or something stupid low, where it's like 9 people can just watch this and be like, this is bad. Like, or like when Roger and Ebert or Roper, whatever, just like thumbs down your art you worked on for so long. It's just, no, I don't like it. Like, I just hate that shit, like in general.
Yeah, but
objective reviewer of art. Like, who the fuck are you? How can you know like a black movie, a foreign film? How can you be well versed on that? Like, you can't have known everything to be an expert on everything within that class, even comedy.
No, I agree. I mean, I think you can look at a movie like Friday, which, first of all, it was well written. It was funny. Ice Cube actually is funny. I can't remember his dad. Was it John Witherspoon?
John Witherspoon, yeah.
Played his dad, was friggin' awesome. Chris Tucker, I mean, that movie made him a star.
Yeah. And comic view was that? I think that was around that time. His Def Comedy Jam stuff.
Yeah, but when I talk about star,
Star.
He became mainstream.
Yeah,
and
like if you just have Ebert and Roper saying, "I don't like it," like
yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, that movie did well in box office, and it's still making money today. And there's a bunch of unnecessary sequels.
I like the second one. I didn't like the third one. I didn't really like. They just threw a bunch of famous people in there. Like, all right, like this movie, Terry Crews, Cat Williams, and all of them. Like, the second one was still decent, and Mike Epps was in there. Like,
but Mike Epps is not Chris Tucker.
He's not, but he's decent. And he had a movie recently where he's played like a serious role, and I didn't expect it to be good. And
he's like a good actor.
Yeah, I didn't know, like, cause I mean, I knew he could play funny, but like it was like the Howling at the Moon, something like that, where he's like somebody's uncle. And it's like he played a really, really good role. Like I didn't know he could. I didn't know he had range. Like I thought he was just like the funny guy. Like when Kevin Hart's in something, like he's not gonna be a doctor. Like he's like your kid's dad.
But Adam Sandler, I mean, has a range too.
I know he don't. Not to me. I don't like that movie. That movie sucked. You talking about Uncut Gems?
Oh, I was actually talking about Punch Drunk Love. That was his.
I didn't see that.
It's actually really good. And Uncut Gems, he was good at, but do you know who the role was originally written for?
No.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill would have been better in that movie. Because like just in Wolf of Wall Street and shit, like I think Adam Sandler to me is just like the goofy guy, and I don't think he has range. I think he's just that. I didn't see the movie. Was it Punch Drunk Love?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, I think. Paul Thomas Anderson of Boogie Nights, Magnolia fame directed that one.
But he doesn't do that voice that he does at all.
He doesn't. He doesn't do the.
I want to try and do it, but I don't want to sound. Yeah, you know the water boy or the. I don't know that shit.
He doesn't do his funny faces or voices.
Yeah. I mean, did you see him trying to? Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be like when he tried to cry on Uncut Gems. Was that supposed to be where it's like he's cold and he doesn't have emotion, like it's fake, or like was he really as an actor trying to cry?
I think the character he played was a sociopath.
So that cry scene was not Adam Sandler trying to act out a cry.
It was the character trying to pretend to cry.
I don't know. I still thought, like, for the most of it, like, what's the point of any of this shit? Like, I know, like, the sound quality shit was good. Of you could have 12 conversations going on, all this clutter. That's good, but I don't know. It wasn't for me. I think that's one where it's like either you like love it or hate it. Nobody just like. It was pretty good.
So on that the weekend that came out, I wanted to see that and Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker, and I thought Rise of Skywalker might have been one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I haven't seen any of the Star Warses.
Yeah, you're lucky to see it. So where do you think comedy is gonna end up once all this is over?
It's definitely gonna change. Like I think a lot of places are gonna like not be there anymore, and I think there's gonna be like, I mean, certain people are gonna come out that were like not as big, and certain bigger people are probably gonna like not do it anymore. I think there's gonna be some kind of shift, like just I don't know, just with this all changing, all the places closing down, and there might be more like online where it's like people recognize people from online, and then like they get big online, and then they start doing it. But a lot of the like mid tier, like if you're not like super high level where you can't just pick up. A lot of people like had momentum, and it's like if their momentum gets killed, it's kind of hard to go back to that. But so I mean, I think some people are gonna be okay, but I think there's definitely gonna be a hit for this in general, like art, like the arts, like of just like musicians and stuff like that, like ones with momentum who are like they're on their way. Like I feel like it's gonna be hard for them. I don't know. Um, yeah, what do you think? What do you think is gonna happen? You think it's gonna just pick back up?
I don't think it will be able to just pick back up. I think we're still going to have social distancing once we're able to go back to work. And I don't know if bars and are going to want to have comedy night, even though for a lot of us, not a lot of people attend shows,
Yeah.
especially in summer. So it might be good to, kind of ease it back in with smaller shows. But
Yeah.
I
But
don't.
like as a person going, then like you see right after this it gets lifted, it's like, oh, now there's a comedy show. Like you do you want to risk it right away, right after like it gets where we can go outside? Like when the first show, do you want to go to the first show? Do you want to go to the 10th show? Like it's even after we're able to go outside, like people I feel like are still gonna be like step back.
I think there's going to be two camps. I think there are going to be people who want to go do stuff that isn't going to cost them a lot of money, and comedy shows are that. Um, I also think there are people who are not going to go out anymore for a while because there's no vaccine for this yet. So I think we're going to be kind of straddling it where people are desperate to go out, and then there are people who are going to stay even more shut in.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it first lifts, it's gonna be like kind of rowdy of just people like going crazy at bar, like when the bar first opens. But I don't know necessarily of going back to normal, like with just shows and like just even department stores and stuff like that. Like I don't know how a lot of those are gonna stay open, like mid level, like just stores, like JC Penney's and stuff like that. Like I feel like a lot of places are just gonna close down in general. So definitely, I think the comedy might struggle a little bit.
I'm hoping, like for the stores, like people are going to go start shopping local compared to the big box stores, because I think we're going to see a lot more. I'm hoping we're going to see a lot more people committed to their community. Like, all right, I could go to McDonald's, but there's the Basement Burger Bar. I'm going to go support them. I'm going to go eat in their restaurant.
Yeah, I feel like people are not gonna do that. I mean, they should, but I feel like those restaurants are still gonna charge more, and people are gonna be struggling for like money right when they come out. So it's like
No, yeah,
go to this. Same thing with Amazon. Like, should I go to Amazon or should I spend $20-$30 going to this small store and help them? Like people, like they probably should, but I feel like people are not gonna do that.
well, I'm hoping that my friends who work in the service industry of restaurants and hotels, that they are able to go back to work as soon as possible.
Yeah. Like, is the stimulus thing different for people in like the service industry? Like, I don't. If you were on tips and you have kids and you have a house and all that, like, I don't get how
I have
people are
I have no idea.
like.
I have no idea. I was just reading last night that in Canada, every citizen is getting $2,000 a month.
A month?
Yep.
Shit.
Universal basic income.
Even is that even if you're like working too, or it's like if you shit is well Canada's dollar is less than ours, right? But
Yep.
not that much though, right? It's like is it like 70, 80 cents, something like that?
I was there last year, or 2 years ago now, and I don't remember. It was it was pretty close. I remember doing my expense reports and pretty happy that I didn't have to figure that much out.
Canada is to US what women are to no, it's fine.
No, 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 this shows a safe space. Um,
70 cents.
um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm hoping that our government will say, "Hey, everybody." I mean, they bailed out the companies for billions of dollars.
Yeah.
They could have given everybody a living income, a universal living income.
Yeah. Are they just saying we're just we're just gonna make more money? Like is there really this much money, or they're just gonna say, all right, now we're just gonna add this number. Here goes digital. All right, we got another $1 trillion. Boom.
Well,
Is money even a thing? Like is that even
money's not real anymore. I mean, since we don't really have, it used to be based on gold. I
yeah,
don't think the gold standard is the standard anymore. I think
it's definitely not.
it's just imaginary. Money is imaginary.
But like in an international level though, is it gonna be like where ours goes down in comparison to like all the like other countries and shit now? Because if we're just like here goes another $1 trillion we're gonna invent, like we're gonna just
I
come
mean,
up with.
I'm not an economist, but I don't. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's always weird because I hear the phrase now. We're living in an important moment of history. I now want to be one of those people who are. I don't want to live during any important moments.
Yeah.
I've lived through two of them so far.
What was the first important moment? The
9/11,
oh, 9/11. Oh, okay.
and I guess I could say the Iran hostage thing was important, but
I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean by important?
where it where there's a shift, there's a major shift that comes with it. Like
Yeah,
9/11. If 9/11 never happened, we wouldn't have Trump as our president right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be as big as like when it went from like was it the agriculture stuff to like the technology, like what it's like the huge ages shift. Wasn't there? I can't remember the other one. It's like like the farming and shit, and then it's like the industrial shit. Then it's like the technology, and then I don't know if it's gonna be when this comes back off. It's gonna be something like virtual type of thing where it's. 'Cause I know there's definitely opportunities in there. Like the first people got on the internet stuff. Like first people who were developers. Like they're definitely successful. But I don't know if there's like is this going to be a shift that big of a shift where it's like
I,
a new age basically.
I think that the big push is going to be for universal health care in this country, universal income. Um, I think that we're going to have a lot more people appreciative of life once this is over, because when you sit in your apartment for basically 24 hours a day and go out just to get the essentials, you have an appreciation for what you're missing or what you didn't do, and there's more of a fire lit under you to do it.
Mm. But like, is it gonna go back to normal, or is it gonna be a completely new normal where it's like we just stay working from home and then like you just deliver everything and you just online where it's just a whole new era basically.
No, I think there'll be a lot more working from home, but we're humans. We need connections. That's why we go out. That's why we make friends, because we are.
I mean, we're all on our phone anyway, so how much of a connection? Like you'd be on a date and then on people be on their phone anyway, so it's like
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot less of that.
you think so?
I think so, because we are in a mist where at this point, as we're recording this, we're not even allowed to go visit friends anymore.
Oh yeah, if we're recording this, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, we are, yeah. I mean, but then like because like it getting closer and closer. Where now it seems like everybody knows somebody who's affected by it, like directly. Where before it was like the people way over there, where it's like it doesn't matter. Then it's like it's kind of closer in your state. Now it's like when it's here, if somebody related to you like dies from it. Then it's like all right. even though we're friends, I'm gonna still get like distance because you might kill my grandma, I might kill your like it's like
I know 4 people who have it or who had it.
or
4.
I know Tom,
Yep.
but that's the only one I know.
Jason Gilliran tested positive for it. His wife had it, and then
Shit for real.
yeah, and then another.
Did they like beat it all the way? Because I seen them. I seen him post stuff, but I didn't see him post anything about
His
it.
wife is recovering. I think he tested negative because he was able to go back to work. And
He didn't test positive at all.
he did test positive, and then he tested negative.
Was he at all like in like bad shape? Because I saw
No.
like
You can still test positive and be fine.
just be like a carrier basically and like
Yeah.
not be. I mean, I don't know enough about it. Like these news stories can like put out what they want, so it's like I don't really know how affected average people are. Like what's normal, what's like I don't know. News stories. I don't know if they're trying to over scare you or what, but
Well, I mean, think about it. A lot of the news it's all based for they want ratings, so they're going to make a little bit of make it scary or spectacular just to.
I hate the news. I always tell my mom, it's always on when I go over there, and I'm like, fucking turn this shit off. The first story is like somebody died. Second story, somebody else died. Somebody else died. The weather, somebody died. Somebody like it's like this is not all that's going on. Like there's other things going on, but it's like you're gonna pay attention to fear and stuff. You're not gonna pay attention to some little kid went to the zoo and she fed the fucking donkey or like something that's like this is like a happy story. Like you're gonna pay attention to I might die.
So I think that's a good place to go into our next little thing. So because I've been really bored while staying at home, I've become addicted to reading misconnections ads on Craigslist. And I'm going to read one to you, and hopefully you can craft a joke out of it. All right. So this one was, I can't remember where I grabbed this one from, Harker Heights, wherever that is. Walmart, you said you weren't following me. You kept coming to the same aisles as I did. Now, they spelled aisles wrong. They spelled it like islands. I know I was enjoying the view as you were very attractive. Sure wouldn't mind having a conversation over a cup of coffee or whatever your drink of choice might be. If you're interested, please email me back or text me at their phone number. Hope to hear from you.
Wait, how they spell Isles first? Is because Island.
It's spelled Isles, Isles. So those are like the Isles of Man, the Isles of Hawaii.
Weinstein joke maybe. He's island. Or no, I got nothing. I was too focused on the island spelling, and then I got lost in the sauce. Give me one more. I got a good one out.
Okay, all right. This one is Angie and Lovely Dog. We met by the cliffs Tuesday around 3:30 p.m. Sorry, I forgot your awesome dog name. Want to be friends and meet more often at the park. You work 2 jobs and primary job is in the dental field. You're a super cool woman and easy to talk to. Wish you smoked herb as I'd ask you to indulge with me.
It's Clifford and Emily Elizabeth. And that's my joke. I don't know. What's the best joke somebody said off one of these? These are hard.
All right, let me read you one more.
I need to set up my drum so I can have a sis.
All right, so this one's funny. You should be able to get a joke off of this one. I have read this one before. It's called Mother Daughter. It's from Canoga Park in California. I met you and your daughter at the market last week. Your daughter commented on my truck. All 3 of us talked in the parking lot for about 15 minutes. You were both pretty flirty. Now I'm regretting not asking for your numbers. I'm 32, 6'1", and weigh about 200 pounds, in great shape. If it sounds familiar, shoot me an email and tell me what kind of truck I was driving.
Yeah, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. How have people done this before?
They just riff off of it. like I can't remember. Like this one, someone I think said this is the start of every every bad,
Pornography.
every bad porno movie of some sort. But all right, I might be ending this format because more often than not, people don't riff on them. So Travis, thank you so much. Hope you are staying well. And as I end this, hopefully I will see you sooner than later. Thank you so much. Tomorrow's guest is I'm excited about. Connor Mead from the Independent Comedy Club is going to be here.
Funny.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.